How's it going, y'all? This is McFrostyBoy, and in this video, we're going to walk you through another strategy for landing and rotating in World's Edge that can help you earn RP more consistently in Apex Legends. Ideally, this strategy, used in combination with the strategy I outlined in the last installment of the Frosty Fundamentals series, should provide you with coverage over almost any dropship path on World's Edge. As always, I want to say thank you to everyone who's gotten involved with the Frosty Friends community. One of the biggest challenges for the channel is reaching new viewers, and Reddit has been a huge help in getting the word out. If you're enjoying my content, please upvote the post on Reddit. Further instructions for how you can support the Frosty Friends community can be found below. Just like last time, we're going to start by going over the general drop strategy. This landing strategy seeks to take advantage of the layout of locations along the south side of the map. In particular, we're looking at Lava City, Dome, Launch Site, and the Tree. These areas are close together, have a solid amount of loot, and oftentimes you can drop in such a way that you have access to 3 or 4 of these locations. Your first goal is to find an uncontested landing. Ideally, you're looking to be only one location away from other squads so that you can either third party or catch a squad while they're still looting for early KP. In this game, I drop our squad towards the Tree, but you'll notice how I'm constantly looking around to determine where the other squads are trying to go. That could have been done. Should be
Not your day. Dropping in.
For the majority of this drop, I have options to go to Dome, Launch Site, or Tree, depending on where other squads land. If this particular part of the map is really contested, I can probably max distance drop to Thermal Station. Since the location is downhill, it is possible to reach Thermal Station from further away when dropping. Noting a large number of squads landing in Sorting Factory and 2 squads landing in City, I select Launch Site as our initial landing location. So to quickly recap, when landing, you should stretch across locations like Lava City, Dome, Launch Site, and the Tree, selecting between them to avoid inconsistent hot drops. In extreme cases, you may stretch to Thermal Station since it's possible to reach from further away thanks to its lower elevation. Now that you've landed, you're going to want to look for your first fight. As I mentioned before, our squad drops to Launch Site, and our goal is to take our time looting Launch Site to give the Sorting Factory squads time to loot and fight before rotating over to third party. The reasoning for this is because Sorting Factory is a rather large area, and from experience, I know that it can take squads a little while to actually commit to fights. We don't want to put ourselves in a situation where suddenly 2 squads are shooting at us instead. Generally, Launch Site squads can choose to rotate to the Tree or Sorting Factory for their first fight. The Dome is also an option, but you have to run uphill in order to reach the location, and it often takes you away from the ring, so it's situational in most cases. Tree squads often look for their first fights in Launch Site or into Sorting Factory, depending on the location of nearby squads. While it's possible to reach Thermal Station or Harvester, it will usually take Tree squads longer to reach either location since they're both further away. By this time, enemy squads will likely have resolved their initial fight and healed, or will have already rotated to a different location themselves. Dome squads will look to use their high ground to scout out fighting on either Lava City or Launch Site. They should be able to use the additional information to pick from a variety of entry points to ensure that they take the most advantageous fight possible. One of the most important things to watch out for is enemy presence in the near buildings. It's hard to contest the high ground, and most of the time you'll be better off going around them to later gatekeep them at Sorting Factory. Finally, Lava City squads can most quickly rotate into Sorting Factory, but they still have access to Dome, Launch Site, and Geyser. Dome and Launch Site can be a little out of the way, but efficiency when looting can ensure your squad crosses the difficult uphill terrain while enemy squads are still fighting one another before securing an early third party. Almost all of these locations have enough loot to allow for a reasonable fight between 2 squads, so getting contested by a single squad isn't the end of the world. Just a reminder that speed is imperative, and that you need to be fast and aggressive in resolving your first fight to ensure that you are prepared for a potential third party. What actually winds up happening to our squad is that an enemy squad attempts to push from Sorting Factory into us. Generally, this isn't a go-to option for me since there's a possibility of getting caught on low ground as they do here. Most likely, they made the move out of necessity, hoping to gain access to the crafter and the beacon after avoiding fighting in Sorting Factory. Either way, we make a point to run this squad down, as it's clear that they're both weakened and unwilling to engage. Throughout this time, we're keeping an eye on the rest of Sorting Factory for activity, since it's possible a third party may engage from that direction.
The master here.
We're putting the inside of this. Batting. There's gold on the Bloodhound.
I cracked a Pathfinder.
Nice.
Oh, peek on the left. Nope.
He's broken.
Cracked.
He's broken. Bloodhound's down. So So in summary, your first rotation using this strategy will be to one of the adjacent locations looking to fight an isolated squad or third party. Similarly to the other drop strategy, subsequent rotations will depend heavily on the general direction of the ring. As you may have observed, many pathways lead to Sorting Factory, so pathing through high ground can often net you gatekeeping situations, as it does for our squad here.
One's under us. Right here. Cracked. Nice.
Batting.
He ulted. Put down ulted.
Yes. Nice looking.
Oh, he's cracked. Bloodhound's 48 flash.
Yeah, Octane's down.
48 flash.
Yeah, I'm getting on him. Oh, I got some sort of shield somehow.
That's really annoying.
Just can't
Go
be
on there.
score.
Faded. I'm coming around.
Oh my gosh, he like never stepped to the left! Thank you. After some incredibly questionable shots with the Mastiff, our squad moves to Harvester before going through the vault tunnel in order to reach the north side of the map. A lot of rings pull says that you'll need to move from the south to the north side of the map. The most common options for your rotations include using the vault tunnel from Harvester as our squad did, these two central gaps to Fragment, or the gaps by Geyser. The Harvester vault tunnel gives you the option to pass through Train Yard, or to use the train tunnel to pass through the Fragment side if you find squads already set up on the high ground. The two central gaps to Fragment give you a nice overlook of Fragment so you can scout out enemy squads on the low ground in Fragment before selecting the best pathing and positioning to engage or rotate past enemy squads depending on your squad's needs. Finally, I personally do not play through Geyser often since it's just more out of the way and generally a less time efficient way to arrive at a similar result as the central gaps. You might find yourself rotating here to third party some fighting, gain access to a crafter, or avoid a gatekeeping squad. Regardless of which of these options you select, all of these are major map tricks, so you should be watchful for other squads. It's important to be quick when attempting these rotations so you can have time to adjust to an alternative option if a squad is gatekeeping using high ground. If the circle pulls to the south side of the map, you can either opt to rotate more towards the center of the map if you're looking for additional KP or loot, or you can rotate towards the edge of the map and areas you've already passed through if your squad already has 2 to 3 KP each and is endgame looted. The key points of this part of the strategy are that if the circle pulls north, to decide on which map trope you're going to play and try to pass through early to give your squad enough time to pick an alternative route if you're getting gatekept. If the circle pulls south, you can choose to rotate toward the aforementioned map tropes for additional fighting or towards the center of the map and previously visited locations to avoid extra fighting. At this point, we start to approach endgame. As mentioned in the last video, the optimal strategy will rely on the particulars of the game. This time, the circle pulls towards Survey Camp, a third party a squad, and force them to give up their loot and run into Skyhook. Recognizing the potential to get gatekept, our squad moves to the hill above Fragment before trying to track down the squad forced into Skyhook. We attempt to secure control of the train tunnel because it's one of the few high ground positions in this circle that doesn't place our backs to Fragment, which we know can be a busy location and a potential source of a third party.
Maybe. They ran?
Yeah.
Or maybe to the right. Yeah, right here, right here. Ow, ow, ow.
Horizon's broken. A little bit down there. I think we play. Our team then makes a play for the rocks on the north side of the ring in order to secure a dominant high ground position and to force an enemy squad into a sandwich position. At this point, we're just fishing for damage and waiting for the inevitable third party to happen. The two enemy squads start fighting, so we begin to make our rotation. Up here. What the hell are these guys doing? Get here. Somehow, they are able to remain generally non-committed, and our squad winds up getting sandwiched on this building. Yeah, there's a squad that's up here. PK on one of them. Batting.
that.
56 on the range. I think all 3 squads get a little confused here, and I do my best to keep all the enemies on one side of me.
Otherwise, I can help.
Wraith is broken.
Horizon cracked. Really low.
Yeah, I'm inside the building. I'm probably gonna have to play in here. This helps reduce the number of sightlines directed at me, ultimately giving me a chance to revive our lifeline. After doing so, I make some aggressive plays, knowing that the enemy should be weakened after such a committal fight, and in order to give our lifeline space and time to heal, find a shield swap or tap our Bloodhound. Horizon down, see if you can tap. Ultimately, the threat of the lifeline revive generates sufficient pressure to force an error out of the enemy Wraith, netting our team a win. Nice. As mentioned in our last video and shown through this example, Endgame tends to rely a lot less on general strategies and more so on basic fundamentals and execution. Okay, that wraps up this video. The rotation strategy outlined in this video and the last one basically constitute my strategic bag of tricks, and I hope that they give you new tools to find greater consistency and success when climbing the ranks in Apex Legends. Of course, these aren't the only ways to find those ranked wins in Apex Legends, so make sure to share your strategies using the comments below. I want to help you all improve at Apex Legends, and I need your help to get this content to the rest of the community, so like, comment, subscribe, hop in the stream, join our Discord, and have a happy new year. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.